This is a Pechakucha on Assistive Technology and Universal Design for Learning as a part of our Technology in the Classroom course for the Masters of Arts in Teaching program at St. Mary's College of Maryland. The first type of AT that we have for you today are virtual flashcards. These are primarily meant for students with writing impairments or fine motor skill difficulties. These are ideal in a biology classroom because it allows students to make the flashcards, quiz themselves on the information, and still be successful without the physical hard copy. Recorders are also another good AT, primarily for students with hearing impairments. In biology, the lectures move quickly and have a lot of information. This allows the students to take it and listen to it again at home and get the holes that they may have missed the first time around. Graphic organizers are a form of UDL because they can help the entire class, but they are primarily meant for students with fine motor skills or writing difficulties because it allows them to write less while still getting the maximum information out of the lecture as a whole, and keeping their notes nice and organized is a benefit as well. Reading focus cards are ideal for students with visual impairments or reading challenges such as dyslexia because it forces the students to focus in on a specific area of text. In a biology classroom, these are ideal because scientific articles and textbooks usually present a lot of information very densely, and this helps focus. These 6 apps are examples of how you can present information differently in a biology classroom. All 6 of these take images, molecules, mitosis, and make them in a 3-dimensional format, so students with visual impairments can manipulate them, zoom in, really see them quite well, rather than just looking at a 2-dimensional image.
Highlighters are used to point out certain parts of the text. This is an AT, but it can also be used as a UDL. And in the theater classroom, it can be used for students to mark out their lines, as well as to help them organize their schedules and to take notes on certain parts of the play and other parts of text that we read in class. Next, we have pencil grips. These are used for students usually with fine motor difficulties, so they're typically an assistive technology. This is really important in the theater classroom because we take blocking notes, or stage movement notes, and other people have to be clear on where certain actors are moving at certain times. It helps people get a better grip for their handwriting improvement. Next up, we have closed captioning. Closed captioning is subtitles on films or movies, and these are really important in theater classrooms because we watch a lot of live performances in movies to analyze acting. This is a UDL because it can assist with the entire class, but is usually used for people with hearing difficulties. Up next, we have text-to-speech. This is a UDL, but it can also be used as an assistive technology. It is mainly used in the theater classroom for when we're reading plays out loud. It can be helpful for students to hear the text out loud, but it can also be helpful for students learning words in their lines, for them to hear the words of their lines out loud. And up next, we have sticky notes. They come in all sorts of shapes, sizes, and colors, so they're really good to help organize notes. They can be used as a UDL or an assistive technology, depending on the case. In the theater classroom, they can be used for rehearsal reminders, and they can also be used to annotate pieces of text that might not be their own.
So fidget toys are small toys like silly putty or stress balls that can be held by students, particularly as an assistive technology for students with ADHD, but also as UDL for all students in order to help them focus better during lectures. These can also be used in a choir class because there's a lot of downtime with toys that make noises that might distract other students. Timers can be used to help students with ADHD and other impairments that can have trouble timing themselves and making sure that they're pacing their individual activities properly. They allow a visual reminder of the passage of time. In a choir classroom, we tend to have a lot of downtime, so timers can be really, really helpful. Large print books and worksheets can be helpful for students with visual impairments because they give them access to the same materials that are being used by classmates. In a choir classroom or another general music classroom, these can be useful for reference materials like the circle of fifths or solfege and hand positions that would be printed in a large poster at the front of the classroom. Modified keyboards can be anything from sticker overlays that are placed on keys to increase font size to keyboards that are completely modified to be used with one hand or by students who have limited fine motor skills. So these keyboards can be used to make sure that all students have access to the same activities and can make sure that they can communicate. Screencasting software like Jing can be used to provide students with instructions and modeling outside of class, and also as a secondary way of giving them instructions in case that they need differentiation in how they receive instructions. It can also be used by students to display their work, to model what they've done outside of class. These are the references for all of our slides. Thank you for watching our presentation on assistive technology and UDL.